it is all a bit
Dahara
confusing.
would not let it tear the flesh from your
Is the
bones.
Sylvanar blind? Every one of these sea elves is a venomous serpent waiting to strike. We should have
Marvel at
cleansed
its
this place of
slavering
Malumar
maw.
scum the moment we arrived.
How can this humble servant aid you?
What can you tell me about Vicereeve Peladil?
Our esteemed Vicereeve represents the Aldmeri Dominion's interest in Kenarthi's Roost. He is personal retainer to Prince Naaman. Had Queen Irene not returned, he would advise a king. Pity.
Who's in the diplomatic party?
Representatives of the Aldmeri Dominion. Vicereeve Peladil carries the interests of Somerset and Queen Irene. The Sylvanar and the Green Lady represent the Valenwood.
And why is Mistral so important?
It's perfectly situated for naval stagings against Cyrodiil. Furthermore, our holdings depend on our naval prowess. If this island were left to its own devices, our enemies would find a way to use it against us. But such speculation isn't healthy.
Feel the muscle of a true.
I find it interesting since it is very clearly part of elsewhere, at least in some sense. It's deep within Dominion territory. I find it odd that it's not used nearly as much as it should be. And arguably, there are other islands that would be more beneficial. Like simply staging from Southern Elsewhere, staging from Senshal, or even Tideholm if they even know it exists. Right? Like, you could use these places as actual, you know, Dominion front points rather than... Because, like, Blackwood's right here, right? This is Cyrodiil. So you could have your actual combat going in from there. But regardless, naval combat into Cyrodiil seems rather pointless, considering, you know, the state of Leyawiin, and of course the Gold Coast and the West Weald and whatnot. It seems irrelevant to me. But regardless.
Lorcan, take them all. Why did the Sylvanar negotiate with these filthy Malumar?
What do you have against the Malumar?
Those pirates are a stick in the High Elf eye. They capture our merchant ships and raid our settlements. If I had any say, we'd negotiate with a sword at their throats.
You don't have any say in the negotiations?
Not as long as the Sylvanar confuses diplomacy with capitulation. He's inside with the rest of them, pretending this won't end in bloodshed. Go, see this farce for yourself.
Hush! This one is busy. Can you not feel the skooma flowing through the streets? If you cannot, listen. It is all around us.
Okay, bro.
I'm in the...
Yes. Yes, he is Odin.
Be disgusted
Would
by
not
its
be so
cold,
happy as we have come to be.
He will live with us then, once we are wed?
If your parents will have it, this one will not stand in the way. Hello there.
I find it interesting how many small little things are present throughout these areas. Like, you can even go all the way back here, and there's nothing. There's nothing to be gained back here, but I find it interesting nonetheless that you can go this far back. It would be nice if there was more stuff going on, though, but like I said, maybe these things will be altered. Who knows? There's the Sylvanar, but is there anyone else to talk to? Harani's right here.
I would endanger generations of relative peace with the Malumar, not for some faraway ruler who is freshly installed on her throne.
The Dominion's invasion of Kenarthi's Roost will not end well.
One thing I think the game would benefit from, right? like, changing the Maormer, it's like, okay, whatever, but actually giving them the Maormer armor, I think that's a good idea, because I always found it quite odd that they didn't have their, how do I put it, their initial, outfits, that they didn't have a dedicated fit. That's a genuinely interesting book to read, sorry. I got caught up in the lore there for a second. There's the Green Lady.
No wine. Stringy meat. My beloved Sylvanar cooling these squabbling children instead of warming our bed. If there's a more tiresome place in all of Tamriel, I haven't found it.
That lady just walked through the curtains. Okay, hold on. Nah, she's got nothing to say. I would speak more on the Green Lady and the Sylvanar, but the concept of them actually pisses me off, so I'm gonna refrain.
Your pardon, friend. The Dominion's arrival on Kenarthi's Roost has upset the locals. It falls on me to smooth the waters. Please, help yourself to food or drink. I'm happy to speak with you once this matter is settled. Most unexpected. It seems we have a mutual friend. May I ask, what brings you to Mistral?
Our mutual friend thought you could use my help.
Then perhaps you can advise me on a small matter. The Maormer have a treaty with Kenarthi's Roost. This is nothing to fear. A treaty is something I can work with. Yet neither Ambassador Ulondil nor Headwoman Harani will produce a copy.
Why not?
Indeed, why not? It would be indecorous to suggest the treaty is anything but actual and sound, yet I fear it won't present itself without a more active line of inquiry. Would you be my voice in this with Ambassador Ulondil and Headwoman Harani?
You want me to ask them for a copy of the treaty?
Exactly. A chorus of requests may succeed in carrying the tune. Harani in particular seems eager to see this resolved, though I fear the Dominion presence binds her hands. But I'll leave you to it.
It's hard to keep track of the new faces since the hurricane, but I don't believe we've met. Welcome to Mistral. May your stay here be full of warm winds and soft sand.
The Sylvanar wants to see your copy of the treaty.
And I told him. The mere act of doing so would complicate matters with our longtime Maormer allies. They take great offense to the Dominion's claims upon our island.
Now, why did you sign a treaty with the Maormer?
Look around you. What great armies do you see? Our survival depends on knowing when to fight and when to please. The treaty brought us prosperity for generations. I will not be the one to break it.
We upheld our treaty with the people of Kenarthi's Roost for generations, and this is how they repay our kindness? We will not allow High Elf thieves to gain a foothold in our territorial waters.
The Maormer claim Kenarthi's Roost.
By all rights, this is our island. Harani's people occupy it with our blessing. If she breaks the treaty, so breaks our truce. We'll take back our island, and the Khajiit will pay the price.
Where is this treaty?
We keep a copy on an island far from here. I see no reason to send for it. I won't allow High Elf wharf-rats another chance to take our rightful lands. Why don't you bother Harani for her copy?
Right, okay. Well, this is clearly not working.
Any luck securing a copy of the treaty?
Ulondil and Harani both refuse to provide a copy.
Then there's little chance for compromise. I'll call a break in formal talks until everyone calms their nerves. You understand the stakes, yes? It's why I ask you to take a more active role in locating the treaty. I don't do so lightly.
What do you mean?
I can't allow the Dominion's first act on Kenarthi's Roost to be one of conquest. I understand our mutual friend prefers the rum served at a nearby tavern. Perhaps he would have ideas on securing a copy of the treaty.
Is the Sylvanar your real name?
It's a name, a title, and our holy city. Quite an honor to carry around such an important word, and the occasional burden in its confusion of outsiders. Not even the Green Lady calls me by my given name. Edelorn doesn't roll off the tongue, I suppose.
How long have you held this position?
As Sylvanar. Seems like it's been such a short while, but the wrinkles on my face tell me differently. Or did you mean as Dominion Envoy? I've taken on diplomatic tasks for our fledgling alliance since its inception, so not very long at all.
What's your opinion of the Dominion?
A freshly grown fruit, still without blemish. On behalf of the Bosma people, it's my goal to keep it that way. If you speak with the Green Lady, don't mistake her manner as distaste for the Dominion. She simply misses our home of Valenwood.
Who's the Green Lady?
She sustains me, and I her. Together, we are the aspirations of the Bosma people given form. Put simply, she is the love of my life. Also, she grows ill-humoured when I gush about her within earshot. I'd best say no more.
Wonder if she's still got something different to say.
No wine.
Nope, nothing different.
You think this one drinks on the job? Good. Then so will everyone else. What is the word, my new friend?
Sylvanar needs to see the treaty, but no one will provide a copy.
Ulandil certainly won't. His viper tongue is sharp. But Harani can't, because her copy was stolen. It only takes 3 drinks to loosen the tongue of the Chancery clerk, if you were curious.
So who stole Harani's copy?
A good question. Raz answers it with an interesting bit of trivia. Ulandil posted a guard at his quarters the day of the theft. His subtlety is rivaled only by his pleasant personality. Oh, and it's 5 drinks for embassy staff. 6 puts them out.
Are you certain Ulandil has stolen the treaty?
Someone needs to slip into Marmor Embassy, find a way past the guard, and rifle through Ulandil's private quarters. Oh, and do it without bloodshed that could provoke war with the Marmor. In case he was not clear, Raz is talking about you.
Why me?
The pragmatist in this one says it's because you have no firm connection to the Dominion. The optimist says it's because you have proven yourself more than capable already. When you have the treaty, meet both of us at the bridge.
Can you not? For prosperity, for security, for unity, for the Dominion. Prices have never been.
Yeah, like, everything about the taking of Mistral really screams, super duper illegal, or at least not exactly the most sound thing in the world. Because by all rights, the Maomer have a claim to this island. Like, literally, there is a treaty. Or at the very least, the treaty implies that the island is not to maintain, you know, it's not to be under control of anyone else. And yet, the Dominion rocks up, preaching all of this nonsense, saying, you know, oh, it'll be great for everybody, but we don't really know that, do we?
The Dominion simply sailed on by. It wouldn't have come to this. Whatever happens next is on their heads, not ours.
It doesn't really help that they're all, like, clearly evil.
Comings and goings, records of supplies, dialogues between the Helm's Reeve and the ordinary envoys. The paperwork never ends. A moment's rest, is that so much to ask?
But what I find interesting is that they are, clearly, they're humanized. They're not just straight up villains.
I wonder what Ulandil intends for these Dominion fools. If he has any honor, it will be nothing pleasant. Mark my words.
But then again, most of them do just seem plainly evil.
It would be good to leave this forsaken rock. How do the Catmen stand being so still all the time?
What's your step, Groundwalker?
Ambassador Ulandil isn't here. And if he was, he'd be far too busy to entertain the likes of you.
Yeah, they're just like, they're cartoon villains. They're just evil for no reason, or they're just mean for no reason.
Floors that don't sway, sand that creeps into boots, bugs the size of anchors. May the gods see me posted to a proper ship.
They also only seem to have 2 voice actors, which is really annoying. Some close together beds. Look at those. That'll probably get changed.
Off limits. Are you lost? Ambassador Ulandil's quarters aren't open for visitors.
What are you guarding?
None of your business. Go bother the clerk. He doesn't know when to shut up either.
I suppose I will.
Ambassador Ulandil isn't here. And if he was, he'd be...
What's up with that guard upstairs?
That's what I've been wondering. He spices his rum with moon sugar, you know. I'm sure one of the servants brings it to him. If I catch him sleeping at his post again, I'll inform the ambassador.
Floors that don't sway, sand.
What's up with that guard?
He's actually doing his job. Most of the time he's writing love letters to some pretty face in town. Zadi or Zami or something. He's a fool in a crow's nest, searching the horizon for any sign of her love.
Another one?
I can't remember. Do I just go and talk to him, or is there... Okay, so I can do that, or I can read this note. That's right, that's right. Forge a letter. Okay. Yeah, all the stuff is within the place. You don't really need to do a whole lot.
Are you lost? Ambassador...
Here, this letter arrived.
Give it here. She wants to meet me? Now? Out of my way.
That's a long-ass treaty. But I think long story short of that treaty is that it's not exactly... How do I put it? Not fair to the people of Mistral. Wow, this is a small balcony. It's hardly fair to the people of Mistral, in fact. Just Article 2 alone was, like, not great. Because it basically means, like, yeah, it's not exactly a free trade city, is it, if it requires all of this registration and whatnot. Ooh. Ooh, that's rough. Part of the, I wonder if that's intentional. Part of the bridge is, like, messed up. Oh, that does look intentional, actually. Like, it just looks specifically beat up. Oh, maybe because of the storm. Yeah, it is intentional, yeah, okay. I was gonna say, like, oh, that looks bad. I was like, oh no, it's supposed to. It's supposed to look bad. Whoops. I also completely walked past Roz because I was too focused on looking at the world.
The spring in your step. Did you know a sense of accomplishment can alter one's stride? You'll learn to notice it in others.
Indeed. Here's the treaty.
The Sylvanar is certainly being watched by the Maumar. You should inform him the treaty is safe. He will know what to do next.
I'll tell him.
The Sylvanar and the Green Lady are being put up in the Armorer's home. This one recommends you knock before entering. Green Lady gets jumpy at silent approach.
You think having the treaty will help?
At a quick glance, there are holes in the treaty. When the Sylvanar worries at them, he'll tear a hole in the Maumar side. The treaty, of course. Not Ambassador Ulandil, though that would be funny. Best not to mention our methods. It will only bring questions and hard feelings, yes?
Right, yeah. I don't know, when I look at the town, I feel like a lot of what's gonna get changed is just like a lot of the wasted and empty space. Because there is a lot of it, like especially in these back portions. There's just nothing here, you know what I mean? It's just barren. So I feel like a lot of that's gonna get tightened up, and of course the mountain's gonna look less just bland.
The Sylvanar's inside resting. You have 5 minutes. Wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, he's dead.
Time for you to leave. No! No! You found him like this? What did you see? Answer me!
He was dead when I arrived.
Then you know nothing. 1,000 curses on this wretched island. They've taken my beloved.
Who would want him dead?
None who'll survive the day. I am the unerring bolt. Once loosed, I cannot stop till I pierce my quarry's eye. Harani knows her own city. If she won't tell you who did this, I'll shorten her tale until she does. Now go! Go!
Oh, I can't talk to her again. Yeah, she's committed. I honestly forget that, I mean, it's not that I forgot that he dies there, but it's like, man, that is a crazy thing to have happen. Like, the implications of it that we're not yet privy to. It's wild. Because that'll have dire consequences.
Mistral will belong to the sea itself before we hand it over to the Maumar. This entire summit is a waste of time.
I don't care whose ear this high elf covers with kisses. I won't let Kenarthi's Roost fall to Dominion invaders.
Not again. Please. I understand what the Sylvanar desires, but I already told you. We cannot provide him with our copy of the treaty.
The Sylvanar is dead.
Dead? But he was just here. What happened?
The Green Lady suspects murder.
How awful. Who would harm such a peaceful creature?
I was hoping you could tell me.
My guards saw nothing. We doubled the watch to ensure safety. I cannot abide the Sylvanar's murder in my town. I'll shut down the port if I have to. None sets sail until his killer is brought to justice.
Could I help?
Of course. I hereby declare you a deputy of the Mistral Guard. No door shall be barred to you.
Where should I begin?
On my desk, you will find the most recent reports from the Mistral Guard. You are welcome to review them for any inconsistencies that could lead to the killer's capture.
The Sylvanar murdered? These treacherous Khajiit have plotted with the Maormer to slay our noble envoy.
How dare you! The Sylvanar was our guest. You go too far, Vice-Reeve.
Outrageous! More Dominion treachery. I will conduct my own investigation.
No sea rat will show me up. I'll get to the bottom of this myself. This is an outrage. I demand Ulandil be taken into custody.
Why?
Because this slimy Maormer had a hand in the Sylvanar's murder. We should march on their embassy and put it to the torch this very moment. Oh, never mind. It's like I'm speaking to a ship's mast. Do continue your investigation, would you?
The Dominion's invasion of Kenarthi's Roost will not end well.
You think someone from the Dominion killed their own diplomat?
High elves are known to cut off their ears to spite their face. Who would be a better example of such hubris than Vice-Reeve Peladil, puffed up lackey to Prince Naaman himself?
Maybe. Alright, a few places to check. We're almost done! Honestly, I kind of hope the other regions don't take nearly this long, because this has been going on for a while now.
No one here. Perfect. As good a place as any. If that clerk has any sense, he'll find it.
What do you think goes on inside these buildings? Why live inside at all, when Mistral is so beautiful?
I also think it's funny that, like, it's clearly a poor town, right? It's a poor town affected by... Like, look, there's crime everywhere. Oh, no, wait.
This apothecary must have had a hand in the murder. I'll get it out of him, one way or another.
This elf is mad. I deal in reagents, not instruments of death.
Have you sold any poisons lately?
I sell no poison. Check the ledger inside. I beg you.
Selling a lot of Daedra stuff, though. That's pretty suspicious.
This elf is mad.
Get off my ship before I throw you off!
I need to get in your hold.
And I need a new rigging and a serving wench. Too bad for us both. Now get off my deck before I throw you off.
Maybe this'll change your mind.
Well, that's a serving wench. 3 minutes. If my sailors see your hands where they shouldn't be, I'll keelhaul you myself.
Be cool if we actually had a time limit.
Watch your step, Groundwalker.
Guess that's everything.
Don't cause trouble.
Buying and selling. Killing the Sylvanar was foolish. The Green Lady and the Sylvanar shared a life bond. She has little time to avenge him before she too will die, and the Green Lady is a most dangerous creature. But then, you have that spring in your stride again. What have you learned?
Nothing that leads to the Sylvanar's killer. Here.
The Maumar planned something, but what? Wait. The apothecary sold Daedra blood in these specific amounts? That would explain the strange liquid upon the... Oh no. Bright moons, no.
What's wrong?
This is a sample of the vile cloud from around the Sylvanar's body. Bring it to the Green Lady. Tell her it killed her beloved. As for the rest, Harani will see what you found. We must move like Kenarthi herself is at our backs.
Quickly then.
The killer will share the pain my beloved's death has wrought. Hand down the throat, a kiss for my wrist. Hand on the lungs, a kiss for my arms. Grasp, tear, yank, and one last kiss for the killer's own heart. Now, what have you found?
This is the poison that killed him.
No poison in all of Tamriel could harm my beloved. But this scent was on his body. Why is it out here as well? I can see it, leading away into the heart of this wretched city.
I didn't notice a scent.
You're blind to it, easily remedied. Follow if you can.
She just vanishes. So yeah, this is also... I'm not sure if it is the case, but I think it's one of those instances of this thing only appears if you've crouched. Oh no, maybe I'm wrong. No, yeah, it just seems to appear regardless. So you just kind of have to follow it.
Stop her, so I can kill her!
Covered my tracks. Couldn't have found me.
Tell me who killed the Sylvanar.
I followed his orders. Daedric poison for the wood elf and his mate. I followed his orders.
Whose orders?
Ulandil. He said they could stop the Tempest. Had to be removed.
I've heard enough.
His orders. Had to follow his orders.
There. You did what you had to. As did I.
I do think it's kind of annoying that you can't talk to the Green Lady after all of that happens. Whoa, is that like the only Breton in town up there?
Mistral was built on an ancient Khajiiti temple. Without proper maintenance, the ruins could collapse, taking the city with them.
Didn't mean to jump all the way down here. I'm getting lost. I was like, is this the way up? No. I do find it interesting the selective amounts of, like, differing races that appear in these areas. Because I know in later zones they just kind of go all out with it, which is annoying.
This diplomatic mission is a farce. The Dominion should have taken Kenarthi's Roost by force, and sorted the rest out later.
Your friend Razumdar showed me what you found, but the treaty binds me. Unless the ambassador himself was involved, I am powerless.
Ah, the errant deputy. I was just informing Headwoman Harani of her apothecary's connections to the High Elves of Somerset Isle. Once the torture begins, we'll learn why the Dominion killed their own diplomat.
Your assassin said you ordered the Sylvanar's death.
My what? You mean the apothecary? I assure you, he was never in my employ.
Your assassin bought Daedric blood from the apothecary and used it to kill the Sylvanar.
Oh, well done. It doesn't matter now. The Green Lummox and her idiot husband lie dead. There's nothing you can do to stop us.
The Green Lady isn't dead.
You're lying. She must be dead, or else she'd have come for me. She's coming for me, isn't she? I'm a duly appointed ambassador of the Maoma people. The grounds of the embassy are sacrosanct, according to our treaty. The Tempest is coming. You cannot stop it.
Sea rat coward! I'll have your head for this!
And soon, his heart. Stop! All of you! This madness ends now.
I warned them. Warned them! But why would I know anything about Maoma treachery? Maybe now they'll listen to reason. It only takes a murder, right?
This is madness. There has been enough death in this city.
I don't have time for this. I'm going after them. I know I said I wasn't going to do the voices, but I just kind of got caught up into it. I'm actually paying attention rather than just looking at the world now. Remembering the plot.
Mercy. Please. Mercy. Save me from this mad woman.
You surrender.
I do. By all the gods, I do.
Move, unless you don't mind the spatter.
What are you going to do to him?
I'll keep him alive for a time. He won't starve. His limbs have so much flesh to sustain him. Go tell Harani the Marama is dead. Leave me to my work.
I do. By all the gods, I do.
I'll try to convince her. Okay, what I say to him there doesn't actually matter.
Move, unless I'll keep him alive for a time.
I'll leave you to it then.
Go. This is a private matter.
No! God's mercy! Stay back!
The gods can't hear you. Scream louder! That's it. Again! Where is former Ambassador Ulandil?
I left him with the Green Lady.
Another honored enemy we must send to the Temple of the Morning Springs. Too many today. No matter. Before he fled to the embassy, Ulandil mentioned something about a tempest. Did he say anything about this before he died?
No, he didn't.
I fear we'll learn soon enough. What a nightmare. I hope all dealings with our Dominion allies won't end this way.
Have you officially joined the Dominion?
I I signed a new treaty with Vicereeve Peladil moments ago. He assured me the Dominion will defend our little island from any reprisals, Maamor or otherwise. Kenarthi's Roost will see much change to come. We must grow together, or we shall die apart.
Hey, slow pause.
Man, this has been happening a lot lately, where I go to talk to a character who's obviously supposed to be closer, and they're just not where they're supposed to be, so then I have to log out. That's actually very annoying.
There's much work to be done.
Interesting. She is now nowhere to be found. Where would I go to pick up the main quest, then?
Perhaps we should ask the local...
You.
There we
yes,
go.
You. Commander Karanet needs you immediately.
What do you mean?
The Maamor attacked Cat's Eye Key from the sea. Commander Karanet holds the line at the docks. She needs help stopping the Maamor before they push into Mistral. Zairi will find more to help. Be swift, Slowpaws.
I'll find Commander Karaneth. So the one thing I will give credit to these tutorial zones is that they do have a big sense of starting small and then kind of spiraling into something greater.
You there.
In a well-paced way.
The Maamor attacked Cat's Eye Key with their Sea Viper forces. We need every able body for the rescue effort.
Zairi said you were preparing a counterattack.
Huh. A counterattack? I'd settle for an organized defense. Our forces are scattered too thin. If we can't hold the gates, Mistral will fall to the Maamor.
What can I do?
I'll coordinate Dominion forces from here, but I can't lock down this gate until the survivors clear out of the market. Send them my way. We need everyone able to defend Mistral on this side of the wall.
Snakes! Giant snakes coming from the sea!
Yeah, like this area really could look better. It's just something about the rocks, the terrain. It just doesn't look as good as it should. And I think it might be down to, like, maybe even the grass textures. Like, they're just not on par with what we have in later, you know, regions.
Those Maamor pirates came from the water. They're all over Cat's Eye Key.
What happened here?
Sea vipers happened. One must have struck me on the head. When I woke, a sea viper was carving strange runes on my bodyguard's skin. I hit that awful pirate with a broken spar and we ran.
Are your wounds serious?
No, we can still move. We'll head to Mistral if it's safe there. By the 8, it's inspiring to see Dominion soldiers. Maybe Sergeant Firion can pull off our counterattack.
What counterattack?
The Marine by the gate to Cat's Eye Key plans to strike back at the Sea Vipers. I'm sure she can tell you the details. We'll get moving. Gods grant you strength.
We can't let those Maamor pirates reach Mistral. They'll butcher our families.
What happened here?
I saw great serpents emerge from the waters. Those sea viper cowards made them snap at everyone in striking distance.
Were you wounded?
No. When I saw my neighbors fall, I ran. What kind of Khajiit am I? You were with Dominion, yes? Your Sergeant Firion plans to strike back. Give those pirate cowards a trouncing.
You should get to safety. Head to Mistral.
I'll do no such thing. If any of those sea viper shows a face on this side of the gate, I'll claw it off myself.
Okay.
What are you doing here? That doesn't matter. If you're in the mood to cave in some sea viper skulls, I don't really care.
One of the survivors said you're planning a counterattack.
You feel that cold air rushing off the sea? Just like it was before the hurricane. We can't wait to cut off the snake's head. We are the Dominion counterattack.
What can I do?
I sent my squad to scout Cat's Eye Key. If they haven't learned what the Sea Viper's plan, we can poke around until we figure out what needs chopping. Don't worry, your wizard friend can seal the gate behind us.
Shouldn't you hold the gate?
I'll hold the gate, if you think you'll have need for a wizard. Or you could bring a Dominion Marine. Up to you.
I think I might need to bring a wizard. Let me think about this.
Don't take too long. The sooner we hit the Sea Vipers, the sooner we stop their plans.
You aided me at the Temple of the Morning Springs. I'd be a fool not to return the favor. Whatever the Sea Viper's plan, we should hurry.
You sure you want to do this?
You've already proven your courage. If I'm to die in this battle, I'd rather it be at your side than alone on this beach. But we won't let it come to that. If you can hold the Sea Viper's attention, I'll do what I can to keep you on your feet.
Alright then. Come with
Now
me.
let's go. There'll be no more death at Malmor hands.
Keep an eye out for my soldiers. I'm sure they'll help you hook some fish elves.
So I think this is where we actually start to come across some of the soldiers that haven't made it. Yeah.
Hey, squad got separated. Nistel and I found Onglorn. They hurt him bad.
What happened to him?
Sea vipers carved runes in his chest. I grabbed him. Nistel held them off.
Where's Nistel?
Hunting sea vipers. If you see her, tell her Onglorn will be alright.
Did you learn what the Sea Viper's plan was for Mistral?
Whoever wrote these notes has an idea. I'd start there.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, I probably should have taken the warrior. Yeah. She's dead. Jesus. Yeah, she got fucked up. That is unfortunate. Yeah, that's kind of why I probably should have brought the Marine, because she probably would have had some comment on one of her soldiers being dead, which is quite unfortunate. Search the mine, Oh, it's over here. It is a shame that we don't really get to explore this part of Mistral before everything, you know, goes bad. It would actually be nice if we could. Yeah, and the mine is non-existent. That might be something I would also suggest they improve, is actually make the mine, you know, a mine. Make it a thing instead of just nothing at all.
Erring in head is bad, but when it remains somewhat head-shaped, that is good, yes?
What happened to you?
I was in the caves, working, when I heard a strange howling. Then warriors came out of nowhere and struck without mercy.
Who attacked?
Sea vipers, Maormer pirates. We paid protection through the month and let them put those strange totems in our cave. They've never been in the skooma trade. I meant moon sugar. Hit my head, you see.
What did they want?
Our deaths, I suppose? After they killed enough of us, they left the rest of us alone. They knew we wouldn't fight back. They only paid attention to those totems. Well, until they collapsed the cave entrance.
Why did they collapse the cave?
Some high elf wizard tried to get in, so they collapsed it. I dove outside. Lucky me. The wizard tried to tell me something, but I couldn't hear him at all. He stuffed this paper in my hands and walked off. Here, maybe you can make sense of it.
You should get to safety.
What's that? My ears were ringing. Would you mind repeating the obvious? Wait, don't think me ungrateful. The wizard was looking for another way into the caves. I heard rumors of a secret door by the cliffs, but I never saw it myself.
Thanks.
There must be another way into the caves. Perhaps there's a passage near the cliff walls.
Close enough. I mean, it's embarrassing that it's a stilt. Oh, this guy.
These totems seem to harness a combination of wind and spirit. I wonder if I c... Excuse me, do you mind?
We're here to stop the sea vipers.
Indeed. I suppose that's optimal. These sea viper rituals are barbaric, but quite effective. The hurricane they summoned to dash our fleet against Kenarthi's Roost? That's nothing compared to their current efforts.
What's worse than a hurricane?
You clearly haven't studied the fundamentals of blood sacrifice. You see, these serpent-shaped statues, they're storm totems. They collect spirit energies from rune-marked subjects and channel it, like water through a funnel.
How can we block the funnel?
Exactly the right question. It seems the sea vipers use a specialized lodestone to block the channel. Approach an active storm totem, hold forth the lodestone, and harmlessly siphon the energy away. You should see for yourself.
Are you sure it's harmless?
Completely. Go ahead, don't be shy. It's not as though the storm totem's energies will cascade throughout your body until you're nothing but a lifeless, smoking husk. But do avoid standing in the puddles, would you?
ESO is using you to test his theory. Have no fear. I'll tend any wounds you sustain. ESO's plan worked. I don't know what to say.
Phenomenal. I knew proximity was the key. And look at you. Not even a hint of electrocution. You have the principle. Now to apply it to the other storm totems before... well, best not to worry about that.
Worry me about what?
No, I really shouldn't worry you.
Tell me why the sea vipers need these storm totems.
I can't say for certain. It's one of two things, neither of which is good for anyone on this island. You don't stoop to blood sacrifice unless you need a lot of energy very quickly. And, well, to release it just as quickly.
What does that mean?
Listen, you handle the storm totems. I'll determine how to best counteract the sea viper blood ritual without destroying Mistral. Does that seem equitable? The only certainty is the lack of time. You should hurry.
I feel like the caves could do with a facelift too. I don't know, it's hard to say with base game caves and whatnot, because I feel like they kind of go through that Skyrim effect. Because if you play through any of the delves that are available in the DLC zones, they are significantly better looking than anything the base game has to offer in, like, an insane degree. They're just a million times better. They're all totally unique, and you don't end up with that copy and paste cookie cutter problem that a lot of the base game delves kind of fall under, to the point where they're all, like, miserably the same. So I find it to be interesting how they're going to handle that, especially with stuff like this, where it's like baked into the quest line.
This is ESO, speaking directly to your mind. Find my Psijic projection near the tunnel exit. I know how to stop the Malma.
The idea that this guy has a Psijic projection is also
I know what
hilarious.
they're planning. Through my Psijic projection, I observed an old ritual site north of Mistral. The Sea Vipers summoned a powerful creature known as a Storm Atronach. They're funneling all that energy into their bound Storm Slave.
What does that mean?
The creature can only hold so much energy before it discorporates. All the energy will wash over Kenarthi's Roost, killing anything it touches. Except for the thunderbugs, of course. Oh, and the mountain north of Mistral will shatter, leaving no trace of the town.
Oh, there must be some way to stop this.
There's the genius of their plan. How do you bind a creature made of storm energies? With the wind itself. 3 ritual horns trap Storm Slave, but the lodestone now has enough storm energy to counteract the false winds. Elegant, yes?
What happens when I release Storm Slave from its bonds?
It will shed its corporeal form and safely release its stored energy. By safely, I mean in relation to Kenarthi's Roost. I recommend moving a fair distance away from Storm Slave when this happens. Perhaps keeping solid rock between it and yourself?
Alright, I'll stop the ritual.
You'll have no trouble. But in the event you do, I've opened a portal at a distance of 1 league from Kenarthi's Roost. There I'll tread water in the open sea until I've observed your success. Merely a precaution. I have every confidence.
But the books don't do it justice.
Yeah, like, so this part's specifically hilarious, because it's literally just there. It's just a part of Mistral that this thing here exists. I also find it funny because you can't actually see these 2 islands from here. Or at least I can't tell if you can. Oh yeah, and they got the big storm cloud. I'm just looking around to see if I can actually see any details or things. Oh no, you can see the islands, they're just super obscured. Yeah, and that one over there looks like it would have stuff on it. Like, I would actually appreciate it if you could go over there and see that stuff. Like, what's on that island, you know, or what's over here, instead of them just kind of being there. You know, kind of like how they treat things in later zones, right? Like, even with this, you know, like, maybe this isn't a thing, but you go here, you go here. You know, and then there's a couple of islands that kind of dot, like, pointlessly, but... Especially with things like High Isle, like, all of these offshoots, you go here, you go here. I think this is a house. I can't remember. But, like, most of these places you do end up going to, but for stuff like this, you know, there's... Like, why even have it? You know, it's like the same thing with Shea Gorad. Why is this even here if we can't go to it? That's why it's like, I kind of hope they do incorporate it into later quest lines, if possible.
Children of the sea, your bonds cannot hold the tempest.
Is he gonna blow up? Yeah, he just dies. So they tell you to run, but you really don't have to. So now we're kind of free to just look and explore, I suppose. So it's clearly some sort of ancient Khajiit ritual site, but like, I don't know, I feel like it's not clear enough. I'm also really tempted to like swim out there and see what I can find. I feel like if the second I go a little bit too far... Yeah, they accounted. They knew. They knew we'd be curious. I don't know, a part of me just hopes that, well, I wonder, can I get up here? No, hard wall, damn. Part of me hopes that, the overhauls, the revamps, will actually include some sort of,
You must leave this place.
new content as well. Like, not just old stuff, but new stuff, you know? Ooh. The gang's all here.
It's done. The Sea Vipers are defeated. I should feel like we won, shouldn't I?
Invest in some lightning rods.
Oh my god. Yeah, that guy got fried.
Something is very wrong here.
What do you mean? Yeah, it exploded. Where's Gathlin? There she
You're quite
is.
handy at defeating Malma's sorcery. I hope to see you again. Hopefully with Varelian at my side.
Yeah, that's another sequel thing they could do, right? Have Varelian, you know, you find a way to actually save him instead of not at all.
Today you saved Mistral from destruction. Kenarthi herself must watch over you. I ran out of Mauma to kill. If you find any more, let me know.
What will you do now?
I suppose I'll mourn the Sylvanar. I must find oils for his body and tools for the rites. I can almost feel his hand on mine and hear him whisper all things find their way. But they won't. He's gone forever. And soon, I'm to follow.
What do you mean?
The Sylvanar sustains the Green Lady. Thus has it always been with every pair. I am not long for this world. I believe I'll find the Mauma's home island. Before my beloved pulls me back to the green, I'll drown them in a tide of Mara's tears.
You're slow, but you turn the tide of battle. Sayeri admits that counts for something.
We swept the shoreline. Commander Karanith captured some Maormer. The Green Lady slaughtered the rest. You fought well.
Don't mourn for Nistel. You made sure a sacrifice had meaning. God's favor you, friend.
The Prowler is headed to Oridon, and we're happy to ferry you there. When you're ready, hop in the launch. We'll set you up with your own bunk.
Why are you heading to Oridon?
Chests full of gold. Owning a sound ship after a hurricane can be quite lucrative, even when the only cargo is Dominion luminaries seeking passage. Don't worry, I won't charge you. Without your help, the Prowler would be a mass of broken timber.
Is your ship ready to sail?
Aye, the Prowler is fully restored and ready for heavy seas. Quartermaster Oblan even managed a few improvements using some Maormer donations. Have no fear, she'll get you safely to Oridon.
Kenarthi's Roost seems happy to join the Dominion now, but it won't last. I give it less than a year till they forget what happened here.
We're gone 3 hours, and the Maormer attacked the city? Typical. Always missing the real fight.
You have to admit, the temple was interesting.
Stone, water, and talkative ghosts? What about that is interesting?
Every part?
You're hopeless.
Hello there.
Are those the only people we can talk to? It would seem that way.
You saved many of our brothers and sisters. Thank you for so bravely charging into battle.
Repairs will take a while, but the key will recover in time.
Yeah, because this was like a whole town that they basically bombarded. Although I do find it interesting, Cat's Eye Key didn't have... Oh no, it does have docks. Here they are. They're just completely ruined. Yeah. It would be cool to get... So, that's my question with these quote-unquote continued storylines that they want to do. How much of it is going to be, like, instanced stuff? Like, are we going to get actual visual changes / overhauls to the zones, right? Is it going to be like, would you like to travel here during X timeline type of thing? Because I would love to see Cat's Eye Key not in shambles, you know? And have a quest line take place here, like maybe dealing with the skooma problem finally, or something like that, you know.
Some lightning rods.
My friend, to escape death so triumphantly is constant thrill, yes? Not so thrilling for the Maormer, of course.
How did you find me?
The Maormer are fled or dead thanks to your efforts. Kenarthi's Roost is safe and voluntarily a part of the Aldmeri Dominion. So, if you must know, Razumdar keeps an eye on promising people. If Raz had known you would do so well, he would have scrounged you a nicer reward. Apologies. The Mistral Armory is not what it once was.
So, what now?
The Maormer are like drunken uncle. Chase them off, and they always come back. Next time, Kenarthi will be waiting for them. Problem is, there are places that will not be so prepared.
What places?
If the Vipers are here in numbers strong enough to assault Kenarthi, all of the southern seas are in danger. The Queen is in Oridon right now, beginning a royal visit. Raz would ask you to head to Volkelgard and report to Watch Captain Astanya.
I'll do it.
Astanya can pass word to Her Majesty. Perhaps you can catch a ride on the Prowler. Raz her Jimila plans to set sail. He suspects she may owe you a favor.
Ask you a few questions before I go.
Of course. After all you have done for us here, it would be rude of Raz to say no.
What do you do, Raz?
This one is a simple Khajiit, like he said when we first met. He resolves issues as they come up. He acts in the best interest of the Dominion and the Queen.
Do you think I'll see you again?
Oh, Raz would not be surprised. You have already proven yourself a competent sword. Simple Khajiit like this one have a tendency to need competent people like you.
So who is this watch captain?
Astanya's the lovely watch captain of the Volkalgard Watch. Raz has shared more than one drink with the captain, and more than one fight. She's getting a bit grouchy now that she's tied to one port, but she should set you aright.
What can I expect in Oridon?
Very tall elves and very pretty shores. Oridon is the most worldly part of the Somerset Isles, and still many of the High Elves consider it a sanctuary away from the rest of the world. This one thinks they are kidding themselves.
The Prowler is headed to Oridon, and we're happy to... Chests full of... Aye, the Prowler is fully...
Alright. And that's it. That is the whole of the quest line of Kenarthi's Roost, and basically Kenarthi's Roost as a whole.
Escaping death at the hands of those savages gives me a thirst. Fortune favor you.
Ifray bless you, my friend. We're lucky you came along when you did. I broke open my personal reserve for this occasion. Nothing settles the nerves like a tankard from back home.
Yeah, I do find it, like, fascinating the way these quests play out sometimes. I do, like this area here, like, what even is that, you know? It's so strange. It all is just so strange. It is a very odd place, Kenarthi's Roost. I definitely, like, those rocks there, ugh, that just looks awful. Like, those jutting rocks.
Cat's Eye Key. Would you listen to these bumpkins? Who says key?
Exactly. Call it Cat's Eye Quay, like the Divines intended.
What are you all about? It's Cat's Eye K. What imbecile says quay?
My mother, the Arbor Master.
Bumpkin.
It is K, by the way. It's literally how it is pronounced. It is not key. Besides, Cat's Eye K rolls off the tongue better anyway. Yeah, I'm just taking one last stroll through the land now that it's actually in the light, so that we can see it better and gain a better understanding of why I like this region so much. In fact, I'll do it in first person. It's just so, like, just this vista alone, you know? In fact, let me just go into screenshot mode altogether. It's just something about this place. And I have this feeling for a lot of the base game zones, maybe like the exception of Stros Mackay. Like, something about these places is just so peaceful once all the combat's resolved, except for Bleed Rock. Like, they're just nice places to be. Which I guess is why I'd like there to be more to them than what we actually have. Especially when you think about, like, that whole... I can't look at the map right now, but that whole side of the island over there, you know, that I'm looking directly at, there's nothing there, you know what I mean? Like, what a wasted potential, you know?
Open for
We could have had so much more, but instead we really don't. Yeah, I don't know. It just... something about it feels just a little bit off, I guess. But that's what I like about this place, is that it's a port city. I have a thing for port cities. I like port cities quite a bit. I just wish there was more to do here. Ugh. Which I guess is why I'm excited to see how they revamp it, but I'm also, like, worried, because I like Mistral for what it is. I like looking at this, like, seeing this city as it is, you know? And seeing that tree, right, it's the same tree as the one over by, the Wind Catcher's Plantation, or whatever it was called. That's why I think the Wind Catcher's Plantation needs a unique tree, so that it is set apart from all the other trees on this island that look the damn same. But Mistral is also just a unique location because it's one of the few places that actually makes use of these palm trees and those odd swamp trees that we saw earlier in the western part of the island. It is a unique place in its own right because it's the only real tropical climate in the game. And I think that's what I like about it. And when they revamp it, I hope it looks kind of akin to, but not too different from what it is now. Like, I want it to look similar to Southern Elsewhere, but not exactly like it. Like, something about the sheer cliffs, yes, it looks bad, but I would kind of just like the textures and the design of it to be updated and not necessarily change it from what it is. You know, there is like a janky beauty to it. Kind of like when I go back and I look at Fable 2 or Fable 3 and I'm like, man, this game looks like poop, but there's, you know, it looks good for what it is. And I kind of get that same feeling when I look at these places. And I guess that's why I am kind of just sitting on this for so long, because I don't want to leave it just yet. But I know, unfortunately, we will have to. Come March, this place will not be the same as it was when we first visited it 10 years ago. And I think that's what makes me so sad, is that knowing that it will change, and that it's not going to be the same, and it never will be the same. Because just doing this questline, like, hell, even towards the end, I was getting into it. I was actually getting into character instead of treating this like I normally would. And there are some interesting things, like that murder down there that I totally forgot about, that never gets addressed again. It's literally just something that happens, and it's left ambiguous. So you just kind of have to think about what's going on. And that could be something that they bring back for a quest. You know, it'd be nice to come back to Mistral and not have it be absolutely destroyed by a hurricane. And have it be, you know, its own place, something different. Something complete. Like, maybe we get to explore the other parts of the island, you know? Opening places up, adding to them, rather than just leaving them as they are. Because if they're going to revamp it, I want them to actually add things and not just change the way it looks. I want more stuff to do in this place. I think that would be nice. You know, a means to explore rather than just, it is what it is. But anyway, I think I've rambled on for long enough. I hope you all enjoyed this quote-unquote preservation of the land, as it were. Basically me just going through, doing a rough draft of the playthrough with the original Kenarthi's Roost as it is. The next one we will do will probably end up being Bleak Rock, I want to say. And I'll save the Covenant one for last, since that's the one I hold in highest regard, as it were. Not regard, but Betnik is one of my favorite zones in the game, just for how it makes me feel. It's an odd place. I'm attached to it for some reason, but yeah. I think Bleak Rock and Balfoyan will be next. So, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you will come to see me go through that region. Those regions, I should say. it'll be a bit of a different layout than this one was. I'll probably end up splitting those zones into 2 separate streams and not go all day long like I did with this one. Just because, oh boy. And I was thinking to myself, oh yeah, these starter zones, they'll go by quick. You can get them done in an hour. Yeah, if you're speedrunning it. If you're doing everything like I am, I forgot how long it takes, so... I will be splitting these videos up into parts. And my initial plan was to just do them as one big stream. Yeah, no, that's not happening. I'm gonna be editing these down significantly, so... Enjoy those when they come out. I'm sure they will already have come out by the time you're seeing this, so... I hope you all enjoyed. And I'll see you all in the next part. I don't even want to say episode, because I don't know how long this is going to go on for. You know what, I guess I will say episode, because if I'm doing every zone, because they're overhauling every zone, I'm going to have to go through all of them. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Goodbye.